Well, welcome back to CenturyLink Sports Complex. Twins taking on the Tampa Bay Rays here this afternoon. Kyle Gibson for the Twins going against Blake Snell. Here's the lineup for Kevin Cash's Tampa Bay Rays. Kevin Kiermaier will DH lead off. Denard Span in left field. He's going to bat second, batting third. First baseman C.J. Cron. Wilson Ramos will catch. He'll bat fourth. Joey Wendell at second base. He's going to bat fifth. At shortstop, Adeiny Hechavarria. He'll be at shortstop batting sixth, and right field batting seventh. Be Justin Williams. Kristen Arroyo will bat eighth and play third base, and Johnny Field in center field. He'll bat ninth. Pitching for the Rays here this afternoon. 5-7 last year, 24 starts with the Rays. Will be left-hander Blake Snell. Here's the starting lineup for your Minnesota Twins. It'll be Adrianza leading off, and he gets a start in left field here today. Jorge Polanco at shortstop bats second. Byron Buxton in center field bats third. Eduardo Escobar at third base bats fourth. Jason Castro catch bat fifth. Mitch Garver at first base batting sixth. Max Kepler in right field bats seventh. Ryan Lamar will DH bat eighth. And Nick Gordon at second base batting ninth and pitching. 12-game winner last year for the Twins will be right-hander Kyle Gibson. Fielding cold breath will be calling balls and strikes. Sam Holbrook at first base. Tim Timmons, the umpire at second base. Jansen Visconti will be the umpire at third base. We're ready to go. Gorgeous afternoon. Here's Corey Provis.
All right, Danny, thank you very much. Twins today in the red tops, white pants, red cap, blue bill, TC logo on the front. The Rays donning the light blue top, gray pants, blue cap and bill. Kevin Kiermaier, terrific player, two-time Gold Glove winner in center. Back healthy in 2018, leads off. He's DHing today, and the opening pitch from Gibson is sent foul out of play. Kiermaier, 31st round pick by the Rays back in 2010. He had 15 homers, knocked in 39 last year in just 98 games. He bats left-handed. Gibson, the leg kick, and the 0-1 offering. Fastball runs in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kyle Gibson last year, Danny, 29 starts, 12-10 ERA over 5. But you separate Gibson's first half, second half, a different pitcher the second half of the season. Ground ball right side, wide at first. This is gloved by Garver. Gibson always fields his position well as he receives the toss from Garver, and that play goes 3-1, and Kiermaier's out, number 1.
You know, started the season off 0-4, and like you said, the last month of the season, Gibby won 6 of his last 8 starts, so ERA also kind of got down, still just a titch above 5, but Gibby was probably one of the premier pitchers for the Twins in that late September run.
The Twins are not in the playoffs without Kyle Gibson. The second half ERA was in the mid to high 3s. There was about a 3-run gap between his first half ERA as opposed to the second half. Former Twin Denard Span batting, pops it up foul. This is playable right into the left field line and shallow left field. It's Polanco tracking it down in foul territory. So the former Twin and Tampa native, and now with the Rays. He came to the Rays from the Giants in the Evan Longoria trade. But Span pops out quickly, 2 down.
Corey, I was reading this lineup here, and a Denard Span, former Twin. You got Wilson Ramos in this lineup, also a former Twin. So Carlos Gomez, they said they've signed him. He has not joined the club as of yet. He's also going to be in this Tampa Bay lineup.
And Gomez, when that deal is finalized, he'll play right field. C.J. Cron, new face with his Rays team, formerly with the Angels. Former first-round pick with the Angels at 16 home runs. He'll play some first and DH a bit for the Rays this season. Takes outside, ball 1. Righty to righty. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball pops in for a strike.
Well, Cron, when he was with the Angels there, Paul Sorrento, former teammate of mine, the hitting coach for the Angels, one of them. I always talked about Cron because they are always he was on that elevator ride to AAA and then back to the big leagues. He said if they would just leave him alone and give him some at-bats, he thinks he's a 30-homer guy.
1-1 is sky to right field, playable. Kepler adjusting sunglasses on, backs up about 10 feet shy of the track. Easy play, easy first inning for Kyle Gibson. 3 up, 3 down. We have played 1 half in Fort Myers. It's the Rays nothing. Twins coming up on your home for Twins baseball. Adrianza leading off the Twins half of the first inning on the mound today for the Rays. Talented young lefty, 25-year-old Blake Snell. He can really throw hard. Four-seam fastball, mid-90s, a changeup, slider, curveball. Struck out 8 batters per 9. Did walk 4 batters per 9. But like Gibson, now Snell was better second half of the season than he was at times in the first half of 2017. Adrianza, switch hitter, batting right-handed. Leading off today, he bounces one on the ground to the right side. Wendell, the second baseman, fields and throws out Adrianza, and that's quickly out number 1. Joey Wendell competing for the spot at second base with the Rays making the play there. So Adrianza retired, and now Jorge Polanco batting second, and it's short today. Polanco 13 homers, 74 knocked in. A wonderful second half for Polanco, specifically the month of August. There were not many better offensively in the game in the month of August than Polanco was last year. OPS was over 1,000 in August of last year. And it all began to change for Jorge not long after the trade deadline, where at times in June and July playing time dissipated for the young Twins shortstop. And the 1-0, and that's inside. And we say Twins shortstop, Danny, looks like Polanco will get the nod opening day again, and that's been an issue for the Twins now for a while, about a decade, with having so many different names and bodies in that spot on opening day. And the 2-0 pitch is outside ball 3.
You know, if you go back and look at the history, I think Christian Guzman was the last shortstop that really kind of came into camp knowing that he was going to be the shortstop. But since then, been kind of a revolving door. But, you know, I think Polanco, I think he had like 17 errors last year, and a lot of those were the throwing type.
Now, that number would have been higher if not for Mauer. Joe Mauer saved him many times. Fastball strike 96 called on Polanco. 3-1, no score, bottom 1.
But like you said, he kind of, you know, he got sat for a little bit, and it just kind of recharged his battery, reprogrammed him, and he was one of the hotter players for the Twins.
The 3-1 swing and a miss. 96 back-to-back fastballs from Snell.
Last time you saw a pitcher wear number 4, huh?
Well, what Stroman's got a single-digit number.
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman with the Blue Jays. We had Matt Belisle with the Twins last year. He wore number 9. Three and 2 on Polanco. And the payoff pitch is pulled foul on the ground past third. But getting back to that point about the revolving door the Twins have had at shortstop, and you mentioned Guzman. Pedro Florimon briefly had I think a 2-year span of back-to-back opening day starts, but so many names from Jamie Carroll to
Eduardo
Alexi
Escobar,
Casilla, Eduardo Escobar, Jason Bartlett. The Twins have had so many different guys in that spot at opening day, just striving for consistency. The 3-2 is pulled foul again. That'll bounce past the Twins dugout and skip to the seats.
And I've always said, Corey, that you look at the championship caliber teams, you have to be strong up the middle. That means shortstop, center field, short, second, center field, and behind the plate. There's where your strength needs to be. And you can't have a revolving player at that key position, in particular shortstop.
From the windup and the 3-2, struck him out swinging. Took something off that time. 89 from Snell. So Polanco got ahead, but Snell came back throwing strikes, and Polanco strikes out swinging. 2 down. And now Byron Buxton, who made his Grateful League debut a couple days back down the street at JetBlue Park against the Red Sox. 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts. Buxton batting third today. And like so many, flourished in the second half offensively last year as he grounds one. The shift is on against Buxton. 3 left of second base, and the second baseman Wendell backhands the ball left of second base and throws out Byron for out number 3. So it's a 1-2-3 first for the Twins. Gibson coming back out, and the Twins guest joining us from the dugout when we come back. No score after 1, and you're home for Twins baseball. Kyle Gibson and Blake Snell working 1-2-3 first. Now it's 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Rays. It begins with one-time Twin minor leaguer Wilson Ramos. Healthy in 2018. He'll be the starting catcher for the Rays this season as Gibson misses high Now, Wilson was an all-star with Washington in 2016. Late in the season, he had his free agency upcoming, and he tore his knee. Just the worst possible time. Still signed a 2-year deal with Tampa Bay and made his debut and did so behind the plate late June of last year. As Gibson misses away at 91, 2 balls and no strikes. Ramos knocked in 35 runs with Tampa last year, and scoring runs was an issue with the Rays last season, winning 80 games. And the 2-0 pitch, a weak ground ball to third. On the charge is Escobar, fielding, setting, and throwing out Ramos for out number 1. Well, Seattle will be a target field for the Twins home opener on Thursday, April 5th. And the first 30,000 fans receive a Twins hoodie sweatshirt courtesy of Northland Ford Dealers. Sweatshirts come in adult, medium, and extra large. Get your tickets right now for the home opener at twinsbaseball.com. Yeah, but Tampa Bay was 14th in the American League in runs scored last year, despite the fact the Rays pitched very well. That's no surprise. Ground ball right side. The second baseman, Nick Gordon, to his right, and he throws out Joey Wendell. That's Gibson's game. Not a big strikeout pitcher, although going back to his second half last year, Gibson did see his strikeout numbers increase a bit. The ground ball outstanding, but when he gets that, he's on.
Well, the storyline last year with Kyle Gibson, remember he came into camp, he was doing a new technique, a new kind of a workout program. He stayed with it all year, continues to do it now. But the consistency that he had during spring training, he was one of the dominating pitchers here in camp last year.
Danny Echeverria, veteran shortstop. He's 28 years old. He was acquired in June from Miami. Last year had 77 games with the Rays, and he stares at a fastball and strike clocked at 93. Jason Castro catching Gibson today. Castro's Grapefruit League debut. Slider outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gibson allowed 24 home runs last year. That was a career high. And now the 1-1. That's peeled foul. Back behind the plate, off speed from Gibson. And the count moves to 1-2. Kyle will go just 2 innings, likely today. Following Gibson, also scheduled to work today, Miles J., Zach Littell, Lewis Thorpe, Michael Kahn, Addison Reed, and Ryan Presley. No score. Top 2, 2 outs. Ground ball right side. This is Gordon gloving between the ankles, and the second baseman throws out Echeverria. 6 up, 6 down for Kyle Gibson. Twins coming up. It'll be Escobar, Castro, and Garver batting. No score, bottom 2, and we return in your home for Twins baseball.
Meadow Ridge Farms Birdseed. Your fight.
No score, bottom 2. Eduardo Escobar coming off a career year offensively. You picked the category, and he set a new standard. A year ago, he leads off the second fastball strike, 96 from Snell. Escobar switch hitting third baseman today. 21 homers, 73 knocked in. And the 0-1 pitch, that's rolled foul behind the plate. Escobar pretty much in Miami all off season, and he is in terrific shape. Snell working quickly. Comes home 0-2, and Escobar strikes out swinging. That ball just disappeared. Slider down and inside. And now the Rays, Danny, they have had pitching year after year. And yes, some of the names are different when you look up and down this roster. But Chris Archer will lead this staff. Alex Cobb's status is in limbo. He's a free agent. Jake Odorizzi is now, of course, a member of the Twins, but they're expecting big things out of Blake Snell this season.
Well, I think so, and it's going to go a little bit deeper, but I think that they've always seemed to have a pretty good staff, a pretty good team. Don't forget, they won 80 games last year. They're a pretty good ball club. Tough division.
And now Jason Castro, lefty against lefty, and Snell especially nasty against lefties last year. And the 0-1, that's in the dirt, popping away from Ramos. Well, the guy who has faced Blake Snell over his career. And he joins us now from the Twins dugout. Always good to chat with Twins switch hitting outfielder DH Robbie Grossman And we thank you for your time. Robbie, what's happening?
What's going on, guys?
We are doing just fine. How's things going for you so far down here?
It's going great. The weather's nice and hot, and it's nice to get back on the field and play some games.
1-1 is outside. Ball 2, a fastball at 95. It was fun traveling with you on Caravan with you and Jorge Polanco, and that experience meant what to you?
Oh, it was great. Just great to get out there and reach out to some of these fans, and then especially a lot of places around the Twin Cities, and have some real conversation with some people that support us all summer.
Ball 3 high, no score, bottom 2. And something that came up a lot on Caravan about how last year you guys, maybe outside the clubhouse, surprised everyone in the game with the season that you had, reaching the playoffs. Are you still viewed as the underdog in 2018?
In our minds, no. Look at this roster we have, the depth in this dugout. If you look around, there's some pretty good players, and last year kind of put us on the map, and we're taking the same attitude, like we're going out to win this whole thing.
3-2 on Jason Castro on 108 games last year, and the payoff pitch got him swinging. High heat at 97, and there are 2 down. So Snell with 3 strikeouts. 3 of the first 5 have gone down swinging. So 2 down, and now Mitch Garver.
Hey, Robbie, what part of spring training do you start focusing in on, and where your at-bats start really counting? Because right now it seems like, I've always said the pitchers seem to be like 10 days ahead of the hitters right now.
Oh, yeah. Spring training is for the pitchers. Yeah, I'm kind of a weird guy. I feel like I only need a couple of games, and yes, but the pitchers are definitely ahead. Some guys need more at-bats, but like I said, it's just great to get out here and play baseball again. Get in this routine, showing up to the park, getting into your routine, doing what you need to do, and it's a good feeling.
Strike on Mitch Garver at first base today, and the 0-1 strike 2 call.
And that routine doesn't really start till like mid-March. Once it starts winding down, then you start playing 6, 7, 8 innings there, and you get your 3, 4 at bats. You get to see the same pitcher, and to me, that's where it always seems to kind of start being able to evaluate where you're at.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you said, right now, every at bat you're going to get a different pitcher, and just try and get your A swing off and see what the ball does off your bat, and trust all the work that you put in all offseason and what you did in the morning to get to the game.
1-2 on Garver, trying to solidify that spot to back up Jason Castro behind the plate this season. Snell's 1-2 pitch is sent foul right above our broadcast location. No play for the Cupertino kid.
Does Danny have his glove up there?
Danny sure does have. Uncle Danny always has the glove, right, Robbie? He's good to go here today.
It sounds like he's good to go every day.
Thanks.
That's right.
Wait, you heard me hollering at you yesterday down in Sarasota, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty light crowd. And, we got quite a few more people here today.
1-2 on Garver. No score. 2 down in the second. Chatting with Robbie Grossman. Snell from the windup and the pitch, and he struck out Garver swinging off speed.
Why don't you stick around another inning? You were late coming on.
One more half inning. You okay with that?
I'm in.
Right. We'll be sticking around with Robbie. He'll join us when we come back through 2 no score at your home for Twins baseball. Kyle Gibson's day indeed is done. 2 perfect innings, producing 4 ground ball outs. He'll give way to a new Twin, a guy that the Twins will rely on heavily back into the bullpen. Right-hander Addison Reed came over as a free agent, signed a 2-year deal. And Reed last year averaged 9 strikeouts per 9 with the Mets and the Red Sox. And the first pitch he throws as a Twin is line to right down the line. That's going to drop for a base hit, cut off by Kepler. And Justin Williams in right field today is the first hit of the game. A leadoff single to right to begin this 3rd inning. No score, and now Christian Arroyo. Interesting young man, 22 years old. He's at third base, and he was the key player, at least young player, that the Rays received in the Evan Longoria trade with the San Francisco Giants. And Art Span came to Tampa in that same deal. But Arroyo was key in that deal. Fastball strike called, 92 from Reed. Fastball slider, the combo that Addison Reed will feature this season. Robbie Grossman kind enough to stick around for 1 more half inning in a scoreless 3rd inning. Have you had a chance, Robbie, to face Addison Reed during any live BP sessions?
Not a live BP session, but I have faced him during the season. And I'll tell you this, I'm glad he's on our team now. When I saw him sign, I was like, thank God we don't have to face him anymore, run into him.
Let me ask you, segue into that about all the off-season moves that the Twins made. You have to be happy with especially the bullpen and, of course, the Odorizzi trade they just made.
Oh, yeah, and another guy like Jake. Glad we don't have to face him anymore either. These are quality pitchers, and it's not going to do anything but help our team, and especially the Reed and Fernando's, and these guys are veteran relief pitchers that are really going to help our team.
Royals sends one foul off the net behind the plate. Arroyo 6'1", 180, first-round pick by the Giants in 2013. He's come up as a shortstop, but maybe a long-term fit at third base. Although third base, for the time being, with the Rays, will be occupied by Matt Duffy, another former Giant who's back healthy. As Arroyo sends one foul down the right field line. As part of spring training, getting to know some of your new teammates. You take time to do that, Robbie, when you have some downtime?
Oh yeah. Even the young guys that come over for the first time, you want to get to know them and just calm them down a little bit and let them know it's still the same game. It's just a nicer clubhouse, nicer field, and enjoy it.
Justin Williams now at second base on a balk. So it's a 1-2 count on Arroyo and the pitch, and that misses down and away, blocked by Jason Castro on a Reed slider. And now it's a 2-2 count. So Williams advancing to second on a balk. Any sense how much outfield, Robbie, you're going to play this spring?
Just not too much right now. Just getting my working on some things I need to get better at, and continuing to work on my craft, and I'm just gonna be ready whenever my name's called, and that's part of my routine, is being the same guy every day and trying just improve in every aspect of the game.
You talk about trying to work on some things like that. Are you comfortable more in left or right, or do you feel you have to work more at one position than the other?
Before I had to work more at right, but now I feel more comfortable in right than left. So it's a weird thing, but I'm still working. I know I got to get better, and I'm just continuing to work on my craft, and especially at the plate too.
2-2 is sent foul. No score, top three. Tampa Bay batting. Williams at second base and nobody out.
I always felt that ballparks kind of came into play too, and certain ballparks are different. The backdrop, sometimes, boy, I don't see the ball good off the bat. That might come into play as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. All the ballparks seem to have some kind of quirky angles and everything nowadays, and it's definitely a home field advantage for the teams that have that. It's like Minnesota with the high wall and right. It's different than playing left there, but it's just like anything else, just getting used to it and playing it. And the more you do, the better off you'll be.
2-2 ground ball to short, fielded by Polanco. He
player. He looks like he's figuring out every year a little bit more how to square it up. So we'll see what happens.
Kiermaier tried to check on appeal, though. He did go around, so 1 ball, 1 strike. Addison Reed, new Twin, wearing number 43. 1-1 is down low. You mentioned the word routine, Robbie, a few times during this conversation. And one of your strengths is drawing walks. Is part of your spring routine tracking pitches? Is that part of your process?
See, that's one of the things I've always been good at. And like I said, I don't even swing in live BPs. I like to go into the game, and I feel like I need 10 at bats, and I'm ready for the season. It doesn't take me long to see pitches, see break, and see what's coming. That's always been a strength, and it's been a blessing for me.
Weak ground ball, first base out of the mound. Reed pounces to it, picks it up, feeds Garver, and Kiermaier is out number 3. Robbie, thanks for the time. We'll chat more along the way.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, guys.
Now we thank Robbie Grossman for joining us after 2.5 in Fort Myers, still scoreless on your home for Twins baseball. Well, we know that many of you tuning in right now, whether it's on radio or on television, endured another snowstorm, and hopefully you're inside and the sights and sounds of baseball and sunshine and palm trees is providing some level of comfort here today.
Well, I know it is up in the Twin Cities up there, but also all around down here. So I think it's music to our ears, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come to the ballpark here and hear these guys in the batting cage. You walk by the batting cage, there's about 8 or 9 tunnels down there, and everybody's just swinging and talking. It sounds good.
Max Kepler leads off, a new pitcher for the Rays, a one-time Twin minor leaguer. Chi-Wei Hu from Taiwan. He was sent to the Rays for Kevin Jepson a couple years back. Who made his big league debut last year, 6 games with the Rays out of the bullpen. And the 0-1 on Max is high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Blake Snell done after 2 dominant innings. He struck out 4. And I was hoping that Kepler would get a chance, Andy, to face Blake Snell. That lefty-lefty matchup is something that we'll talk often about as the spring moves along here for Kepler. And the 1-1 is outside. By no means are the Twins ready to say, hey, Kepler's a platoon player. We're not going there at all. He's 25 years old. James Rowson visiting with him the other day, Twins hitting coach, and he hopes that Kepler does get more of a chance against lefties here this season.
Well, I think mostly it's going to be during the season. I think those are the bats that are really will kind of gauge you out a little bit better, where you can really kind of read how well he faces lefty on lefty matchups. But you know, spring training's a little bit tough right now, especially like Robbie was saying, not knowing who the guy One thing I got to ask you about is there's something every time we come down here, it seems like the fishermen sometimes they're affected. They call it the red tide or something.
Yeah, so yeah, red tide is naturally occurring for hundreds of years, and sometimes the blooms are more persistent than other times of year, and it can interfere with their job fishing. Yeah, but right now we're clear. There's some offshore, but not affecting our beaches.
Nancy, I'm sorry our visit was so short. Is there a website that people can click on to find out more information?
Absolutely. FortMyers-Sanibel.com. You'll find all the information you need to explore down here.
Nancy, thanks for your time. We are through 3, no score on your home for Twins baseball.
Twins Spring Training Baseball is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Those scores through 3. This portion of Twins baseball is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Your local Chevy dealer. Or log on to ChevyDealer.com. We thank Nancy McPhee for joining us. We have more guests. And to introduce our next visitor, here is the 2-time World Series champion, Danny Gladden.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to introduce a Hall of Famer here to my right here, and World Series also 2-time World Series champ.
2 times, yes.
2 times.
2 times.
Hall of Famer, Mr. Bert Blyleven joins us as new pitcher is Ryan Presley, and he's going to face former Twin Denard Span. He pumps in a fastball in there for a strike. Bert, you live down here, and he thinks, and now in camp also is helping out as an instructor.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. When pitchers and catchers first came down about 10-15 days ago, I had an opportunity to be with them for a week, and I enjoyed it. Guy on the mound right now, one thing that I think everybody's working on, Ryan Presley, trying to keep that head straight, trying to keep that chin in that left shoulder area. He has a tendency to open up a little bit, so they've been working on that. My job basically was just kind of look at the young kids, and hopefully, you know, they ask questions, and we talked mainly about the fastball, Danny. Working off that pitching rubber, establishing your fastball early here in spring, and a location of that fastball.
Yeah, but Bert, you're known for the big curveball also. You know, did you ever want to just say, hey, try this grip, or let me see the grip of your breaking ball?
We talked about the breaking ball. Jake Odorizzi, actually, when he came over, he entered I went over and said hello to him. He said, I've always wanted to talk about your curveball, and we kind of went over grips. He throws it more like Don Sutton does, but you know what? No matter how you hold it, it's what you're trying to do with that ball as far as getting that. And I told him the key to me was the big knuckle on your right hand, if you're a right-handed pitcher, was always on top of the ball when you release the ball. Not underneath, but on top of the ball. And think fastball, curveball.
Yeah, Denard Span flares went down the left field line.
But it was a lot of fun. It was
Foul.
my first time. I did a little bit last year after the WBC. I was in uniform for a little bit, but this year getting to see these young kids go about their business early on is exciting to watch.
Scoreless here, top of the 4th inning, just one hit in the ball game. That's a base hit single by
Ball right here and get a double play.
Was it around this time last spring when you suggested to Tyler Duffy about moving from one side of the rubber to the other?
Right.
And have you suggested that to any of the other pitchers that that you worked with last week?
Not really. You know, the biggest thing for me was I saw pitchers that didn't use the pitching rubber, that 2-foot rubber out there. I saw them standing actually in front of it. So Garvin Alston, the new pitching coach, I did talk to him about that, and what he did down in the bullpen, he brought the dirt down about an inch in front of the pitching rubber so guys would utilize like a sprinter would running at 100. He'd use that block to take off. That's out there for a reason. Not, you know, someone told me one time that, so he asked a pitcher one time, you know, what's a pitcher rubber used for? And he said, well, that's where I stand. I go out toward the rubber. He didn't realize that you could actually use that pitching rubber to, you know, our foundation is for a pitcher or a hitter, Danny, is our strength of our legs, you know, the way that you push off.
And if I can relate to that, as a hitter, you dig a hole. You see all the hitters dig a little toe hold. Well, they're pushing off with that toe, and that's their stride. They're trying to generate their speed. That ball's well hit. Adrianza is going to just turn around, one hops off the wall. Stenard into third base, runner into second with a double. So a walk and a double. You have second and third, nobody out. The batter would be Wilson Ramos. That was a double by Cron. Just came over from the Angels. But how much stock do you take in your first? I always said pitchers get the mulligan. You know, they always get a couple mulligans the first part of spring training, and then all of a sudden you better start dialing in.
I can remember back in the 70s, I had a terrible spring training. I couldn't get anybody out, and they had slated me in to be the starting rotation. Of course, our beautiful media had me saying, you know, I shouldn't even make the ball club. And I already had established myself. And lo and behold, my first game was a shutout. So how do you know? You know, you don't. Once that bell rings, you become a different pitcher. But I felt good in spring training that year, but I couldn't get anybody out. And then the bell rang, and I pitched okay after that. You don't know.
Ramos takes that first pitch down and away. Infield going to play back. They would need an out, concede the run.
But for a guy like Ryan Presley, he has to control the fastball, which sets up his out pitch, and that being the good breaking ball. That's a slider right there.
Pitch down and away. And, you know, Presley's so key, I think, to the rotation, or not to the rotation, but to the bullpen, because he has that swing and miss stuff. And a lot of times guys come out of the bullpen, and that's one thing the Twins have been looking for. It used to be just Presley. Presley was the only guy that come out there and kind of blow some people away.
Tell you what, Buznitz is throwing the ball outstanding, and you go out and get Addison Reed. So Ryan Presley has to have a good spring training, good fastball there.
And he's out of options too. Presley this spring. And, you know, Ryan was pretty candid. He would go down to the minor leagues. He gets sent down, and, you know, Stu Clybourne, the outstanding AAA pitching coach, would sit next to him and say, what are you doing here? You have no reason to be here. I love you, but you have no place on our team right now. You should still be up north and still with the Twins.
Sometimes it's what's between the ears is something that you have to, hopefully the young man matures and realizes that every pitch isn't a do or die pitch, but there should be a purpose behind that pitch.
Yeah, sometimes I remember Jock Jones saying that, you know, you cannot rush maturity. And sometimes some players take a little bit longer than others, but I just, you know, first of all, Presley's such a great kid, man. In the clubhouse, you know, off the field, he's just so approachable. He'll talk to you. He has fun. And, you know, sometimes it's the confidence, I think, that you'll see not only from a hitter, if he's struggling a little bit, might lose that confidence. Same with a pitcher. And the bullpen guys, to me, are tough. If they get a rough outing, they've got to wait. You know, they might be able to get out there the next day, but then all of a sudden they get sent to a different position in that bullpen. They can't get back out there to redeem themselves.
Twins have really concentrate on building that bullpen up, getting, you know,
strike three. Nice breaking ball there.
That's a high breaking ball. The hitter didn't like it, but it was called strike three. So a big out for Presley.
And that's Presley going to the breaking ball. Remember, he walked Denard Span on a 3-2 pitch trying to get the breaking ball, and right there. Good call there, good pitch.
I saw Anibal Sanchez pitch, and I know you guys maybe have. I don't know if you have yet, but I like what I saw in the bullpen. Now, hopefully he'll take that out on the mound, but he's had little injuries the last couple of years with the Tigers. I'm looking for him to have a good, solid year for the Twins.
And see, when we do see Sanchez, if he eliminates
second baseman grounded out his first time up. First pitch in there for a strike. I think more times than not, you see pitchers that are starters and they go to the bullpen, and like you said, they start eliminating pitches because going in the bullpen, maybe I don't need 4 pitches.
And for Sanchez, maybe I don't need 6.
And fouled back.
That's something, that Trevor Bauer with the Indians, right? He had like 6 or 7 different pitches he would kind of play with, and he kind of shrunk that down a little bit. And look how good he was last year.
I remember that, it was Gomez had to drop his glove and go to 7. Or Gomes, excuse me, Gomes.
Here's Wendell, and he's batting it out in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes if he gets a punch out here. Just missed on a little cutter. Is that a cutter or a slider at 82?
Yeah, he throws a cut fastball, then the slider, and then the curveball.
But at 82, a nice little cut piece. Acts like a slider. I like the location of that. He was ahead on him, and he kept it in on him.
Now, do you go back in again?
Yes. And here's where maybe you try to throw that slider down and in around the back ankle. And a pitch, there it is, and it's just fouled off.
Hey, Bert, speaking of pitching, Kyle Gibson today, 2 innings, scoreless, perfect. He induced 4 ground ball outs. Let me ask you, from your vantage point last season, what was different about Gibson's second half as opposed to the first
He
half?
attacked the strike zone. I think the first half, if you look at the amount of pitches he used per inning, it was like 17 or 18 pitches. In that second half, I think he used about 13. So he was attacking the strike zone. He was trusting the defense, which is going to be outstanding to watch throughout the summer, guys. Good defense. So
this was lifted down the left field line. Adrianza is not giving chase. He's going to let it just fall in. And Span's going to score. The throw in back into the infield off the mark. So Adrianza playing left field. He just was jogging after that ball. And he thought that ball was going to land foul. And looking at the flags out here, they're blowing from left to right. So that thing just landed about a foot fair. That's some poor baseball there by Adrianza, not known as an outfielder. And well, maybe he's trying to prove Paul a point, and that is that I'm an infielder.
that's part of spring training.
Get me out of here. Boy. But that should have been it's probably a sac fly, but it should have been out number 2. But now it's first and third, 1 out, 1 in.
And Presley's pitch count getting high. Twins have a lefty up in the bullpen.
Look out. Breaking ball in tight, Echeverria.
And you look how this inning started. Base on balls. Now that leadoff hitter seems like every time you walk him, there's a good percentage chance that he's going to score.
Yeah, but you know what though, Bert? I need my defense to help me out. I make a good quality pitch. That's an out. So Presley now, like you said, it should be 2 outs, 1 run in. I can live with that. But now all of a sudden, the fire's gotten a little bit bigger. And you've got a good one in Echeverria right now. Veteran player with Miami. Good pitch there. Crowded him inside. But again, tough to pitch when you seem to be behind in the count.
You guys had a good winter?
Great winter. Great winter. How about you?
Good.
Down here?
Very good one.
Yeah. Golf? How's your golf game?
Not bad. Not bad. Getting better. Always getting better. Good fastball away there.
Hey, Bert, some company you'll have in the Hall of Fame this summer. Your thoughts on Jack Morris getting in?
I'm happy for Jack Morris and Alan Trammell put in by the Veterans Committee. Very, very proud of finally Jack getting in. I did call him. We're on a cruise when I heard about it, and I texted him from the cruise and congratulated him. Then I talked to him once we got back. So I told him there's probably a 90% chance that Jack will cry at the podium during his speech.
90?
What do you think?
90?
I think 90%.
Oh, I'm going up. I'm going up.
You're going higher?
Yeah, I mean, I made him cry on Caravan when I brought it up. So if that was a Caravan stop at the Treasure Island Resort and Casino, I think Cooperstown, no chance.
Hey, he was with us on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He left us, and he cried every night on the couch.
It's a guarantee.
Boy.
Guarantee.
But, you know, he waited a long time, and I'm very, very proud and happy for Jack Morris, Alan Trammell, everybody that's going to be there. 6 guys are going to be inducted.
Big swing and a miss right there. Good pitch, a fastball.
And a big strikeout.
Huge. And now here comes Paul Molitor. He's going to come out, and like you said, pitch count might have gotten up there. You've got a left-hander in Justin Wood. Minnesota Twins here Ryan Presley departed, 1 run in. Let's pause 10 seconds, allow our stations to identify themselves. You're listening to Twins Baseball. Now Crosby now first and third. Left-hander getting his warm-up pitches. Had some time with the Detroit Tigers. Got him listed at 6'5", 225. Lefty, he's part of this Twins minor league core of players that before every ball game will come over from the minor league complex. And these guys are kind of on reserve for this situation right here where they've got to come in and get maybe 1 out. And a first pitch on the way, and it's a check swing foul. So, Bert, you're going to be out there at the Hall of Fame, correct?
Yes, wouldn't miss it.
Looking
forward to it.
How tough is the speech part of it? The writing of it one of the tougher things to have to do?
Well, I wrote my own speech. Some guys do get speech writers to write something for them, but I did it myself. Mine was about 12 to 15 minutes, and hopefully Jack's listening. 12 to 15 minutes, Jack. I know you want to thank everybody, but you know.
Well, don't the other inductees or don't the other members kind of start cackling on you in the background?
Yeah, we fall asleep. Yeah. I think a couple, 2-3 years ago, Tommy Lasorda, God bless him, he's 90 years old, but we caught him sleeping during somebody's speech, and we let him sleep. When you're 90 years old, you deserve to sleep.
Here's the 1-2 on the way, and it goes to the backstop. That's going to allow a run here, I think, to score. Castro to the plate, and he is going to be out. Nice play there by Crosby. Might have crossed up Jason Castro. Castro just went right by him to the backstop. It carried him back to him, and Crosby covering home plate. Tagged out the runner, but 1 run scores on a couple of hits, 1 left. And through 3.5 score here at CenturyLink Sports Complex. It's the Tampa Bay Rays 1, Minnesota Twins nothing. You're listening to Twins Baseball. Back here at CenturyLink Sports Complex. Adrianza will lead off. He's leading off this ball game. Twins are looking for their first hit. Dan Jennings will be the new pitcher, left-hander. Jennings spent some time with the Chicago White Sox last year in Tampa. Lefty out of the stretch. 29 ball games with Tampa last year. And delivers first pitch down and away, ball 1.
Yeah, thanks to Burt Bly-Levin for stopping by for a half inning.
Always. Well, you ask him, I thought that your question about it, well, how was your winter? He lives down here in Florida. It's 80 degrees almost every day.
Well, there was some sarcasm behind it.
Yeah, I know there
just
was.
a little bit.
I thought Titch.
Titch.
That you were saying because we had maybe such a cold, long winter. Burt sure looks good in that Tommy Bahama stuff, doesn't he? Pitch outside and low and now falling behind.
Very patriotic look today. He's got a Team USA baseball hat on. No, but he's excited about the upcoming season. He'll be back in the booth with Dick Bramer.
Yeah, when's our guy coming down? When's the Duke coming in?
The Duke,
we heard yet?
Mid to late March.
All right. And there's a 4-pitch walk. So Adrianza leads off, see if he can touch home plate, tie this ball game up. You know, I thought the Duke usually comes down for a week and hangs out at the beach and nobody sees him, and then when he does show up, he's golden brown.
He's ready to go.
Yeah, he's got that, promise you, he'll have that safari hat.
I mean, I'm expecting a text here any minute saying not that it's any of your business.
Something along
but
those
I'll
lines.
Be down in Fort Myers this date.
You think he'll give it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's Polanco to bat, switch hitting shortstop for the Twins. That one got the plate below. Well, Jennings is a veteran guy, and he's going to fit in nice with this Tampa Bay club. I always said 80 wins last year, and a couple of big trades and getting rid of their guy that faced the franchise, in my opinion, was Evan Longoria. And he had moved on to the San Francisco Giants. And they feel the guy at third base, Christian Arroyo, is a replacement for Longoria. Also, some trades with the Giants. They get Denard Span. Of course, Denard from Tampa area. 2 balls, no strikes. And there's a strike called. Home plate umpire Fielding Colbreth raising that right hand. Adrianza, he'll run. The Twins are going to look to have a little bit more speed this year, or at least try to incorporate that part of the running game. As Jennings soft toss over to first base. And I think with Adrianza working on, and we talked to Robbie Grossman, working on some of the stuff that he talked about, defensive plays and getting in shape and some batting cage work, but also as a base runner, Adrianza working on a lead. And this pitch down and in moved him off the plate. Jeff Smith coaching first base, and you know, it's always nice. I always thought get some work out. You want to see that left-handed pitcher, and to try to be able to get a read, because during the course of the year, maybe, hey, I've seen something that I can apply, or even come back and tell some of the teammates. Ground ball third, backhanded stop by the third baseman. Nice play to second, high throw, and that's going to end up in the dugout. Nice play by the third baseman Arroyo. We were talking about him, came over in that Longoria trade. Made a nice throw to second base. The second baseman Wendell, though, airmailed it into the dugout. Good hard late slide by Adrianza. Adrianza running hard the whole way, and this kind of slid, popped up, which you can do. Timeout called as Fielding Colbreth going to throw that ball out.
Second at bat for Buxton today, and second time the Rays shift on Byron. 3 defending on the left side.
Well, they shift on everybody. I think that this is an organization that they really buy into the metrics. As they check the runner, Polanco, he's not a big lead. Off speed, misses.
Well, Buxton in that third spot today, and this
Saw
was
a lot
the
of that
spot
this year. Last year
in to begin the year last year. Didn't last too long, but
yeah, but didn't we see it also in spring training?
yeah.
And it seemed like, okay, what are you doing here? And sure enough, they started the season there. And a pitch here, and he's taking all the way, tracking it, and it's in there for a strike. Well, Byron really started to take off. He had a hitting lesson session, I should say, with the manager Paul Molitor, and he lays that bat now flat on his shoulder, a little more upright, and just not a lot of parts moving around. And that one's popped up shallow center field. The second baseman Wendell out, and it's going to be Wendell, the second baseman, catching. So 2 down. It's going to be up to Eduardo Escobar. But ever since that he started a toe tap, he had a leg kick. So a lot of moving parts, and he hadn't even started to swing the bat. And now all of a sudden with that session with Paul Molitor, hey, stand up upright a little bit, relax. Okay? Trust your hands. You're a quick enough player to where let that ball get out of the pitcher's hand and then react to it, then go find it. And Byron was just crushing the ball. Home runs started to come, of course, the stolen bases. And there's a line drive down the right field line. That's going to be fair just inside the line. Escobar chugging around first into second base as Polanco scores. First hit, and the Twins have tied it up 1-1. A good piece of hitting there by Eduardo Escobar, and he's probably familiar with Jennings over the years, but he going the other way on a nice little pitch down and away. And here's Castro to bat. You know, Bert was talking about last inning when they scored their first run, how that inning started with a walk. And the Twins just had a leadoff walk here to Adrianza. He was forced out at second, but the error charged to the second baseman allowed Escobar to drive in a 2-out base hit. Castro takes one outside, ball 1. Castro with 10 homers last year. Takes it in tight. 2 balls and no strikes. Jennings' pitch count might be rising a little bit as well. They have action in the Tampa Bay bullpen. He'll check the runner at second. Here's the 2-0, fouled straight back. Castro, good cut. Well, Tony Clark, the Players Association president, was in camp here talking to the players today and got the play below. Jennings wanted that pitch. 3 balls and 1 strike. Tony Clark, in charge of the Players Association, represents all the players, addressed the team, and still some frustration, I think, on their side with all the free agents that still are unsigned. And I believe they're in Bradenton, I believe, working out up there. And this one's fouled off on a 3-1 pitch, and now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Castro, and did just that, address the team about some of the things that that they feel are happening right now. But all in all, he talked about the pace of play, and I think everybody's concerned about that.
Did this offseason surprise you with the lack of activity that we saw in the opening months of free agency?
No, because I think that usually you see it and then it starts to heat up, and now they're reporting that it's starting to heat up now. Well, camp's already been going on. If you're one of those free agents, hey, I need a job. Ground ball up the middle, dive, stop by the second baseman, comes up.
A guy of Eric Hosmer's talent, I just did not expect him to sign as late as he did. I just thought that Hosmer would have signed in November, December. I was just stunned, and not just him, but others.
Well, how about Arrieta that's out there?
Still hasn't signed.
There's a frontline pitcher, J.D. Martinez.
Still in limbo here.
Still in limbo.
Still waiting out the physical with the Red Sox.
You know, the Red Sox, we talked about it with Napoli when he agreed to a 3-year deal. They came in there and said, whoa, put the brakes on that. They only gave him a 1-year deal. Hit high in the air, left field. Ball might have a chance. Span back, track, get out of here. Garver with a 2-run homer. And now the Twins lead 4-1. Off-speed pitch, and Garver went down and crushed it. Garver, 17 home runs at AAA last year. Good piece of hitting right there. And like that, Kevin Cash going to come out and get Dan Jennings. So he'll depart with 4 runs in here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Twins up 4-1. We'll be back. You're listening to Twins Baseball. Century Lake Sports Complex. Edwin Fierro is the new right-handed pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays. Jennings, a couple of errors pulling behind him, and had a lot of batters that he fell behind, but at the same time, some of the plays not made behind him. Defensively, the second baseman charged with 2 errors. One of them should have been charged to Crone, the first baseman. So Edwin Fierro, he'll come on and face Max Kepler. And more importantly, update, Dick Bramer has checked in. And I think we have an update.
We have an update from the Duke.
Tell me it's a. Can you read it all, or is you got to clean it up?
No, this is clean. This is a PG text.
Wow.
You can sense the sarcasm. I believe it says, quote, "Just finished blowing out my driveway, enjoying the late winter snow so much I might not come down to Fort Myers at all."
A broken bat off the foot of the pitcher, going to be fielded by the second baseman. Has to hurry. Throws not in time. Kepler hustled and beat it out. So first pitch broke his bat, carried off the pitcher's leg, redirected in the second baseman, and now down there around the ankle area, a lot of bone down there. Nothing. They're going to come out, check on him anyway. So, but we still don't have a date as to when he's coming out.
No. Again, it could be very top secret, but nothing official. But I know he's going to do some broadcasts down here.
Yes. Excited about that.
But no date. So if you're trying to stake out the Duke at the airport, we'll keep you posted.
Batter now is going to be Lamar DHing.
Now I have another date.
Uh-oh.
And this comes from the Duke's boss.
Uh-oh.
So I have a date.
Good. As Kepler short lead, a little off-speed pitch over the plate below. And his boss being his wife?
No.
Oh.
Also our boss.
Oh. Yeah, I'm looking.
It's a home game.
It is.
Here against Baltimore.
So if he comes in the 13th, we probably won't see him until
20th.
Yeah. Yep. Long hesitation, checks the runner not going, and the pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Wilson Ramos. Throw back to first, and just in time.
He's got a birthday coming up, March 1st. I know that because Kyle and I a few years ago rode with him back from Jupiter on his birthday, and we missed our exit on I-75, and the Duke was driving.
Oh,
Kyle was
coming
navigating, and the Duke was not happy. Not happy.
I heard about that because you guys did not want to take the shortcut.
Right, we did not
on Highway 80.
Nothing. Lake Okeechobee. No, we did 75, and
yeah, that's what you get.
Not good.
That's what you get. Try to get that third out. 4 runs in here in the 4th. Ground ball third. And it's going to sneak by the diving third baseman Arroyo. Lamar keeps the inning alive with a base hit. Well, my daughter's birthday's March 1st, too, so.
Which one?
Whitney. Big one. Big birthday. Big birthday.
21.
Those days are gone.
Oh.
Big trio.
Trio. That means a big present.
Does it?
Dad.
Yeah. Got her a flight down here. How good is that? They'll take some advice on that. You want to help me out? You're good at presenting presents.
Uh-huh. Well, hand me the
She already no.
plastic, and we'll make it happen.
It's her birthday every day. Gordon batting ninth, playing second base. Grounded out his first time up. There's a strike on the outside corner. Edwin Fierro on a relief for Dan Jennings. Jennings just 2/3 of an inning. Ninth man to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Inning started with a walk. 2-run homer by Mitch Garver. And he'll one. Ground ball, second base. Should be it. Gobbles it up and retires Nick Gordon. Twins will pick up 4 runs. There was 2 big errors in the inning. They got 4 hits and they lead 2 through 4. It's the Twins 4, Tampa Bay Rays 1. You're listening to Twins Baseball. Hey, if you're looking for that convenient ticket package, we have it for you. It's going to fit all your demands. But Williams, they like this kid here. They're a young prospect, and a lot of the Tampa Bay Rays, they always seem to have that good farm system, fundamentally sound organization. Teach their players well. Swung on a miss, got him with a good fastball right after him at 93. So Williams heads back to the dugout. Here's Johnny. I'm sorry, here's Christian Arroyo. Arroyo, we talked about. Giants organization, big trade for the Kevin Longoria. And Arroyo bats, grounded out his first time up, takes it in there for a strike. Kahn out of the stretch, he holds his hands high, line drive into right center field. Kepler over. He'll cut it off. Made a nice play to get over there. That ball was ticketed to the warning track, so 1 out base hit. And here's Johnny Field. So Arroyo at first base. 1 out, to see if they get something on the ground, turn a double play. Pitch down and away. Castro still in there behind the plate. Escobar at third. Polanco's shortstop. Nick Gordon getting the start at second. Mitch Garver getting the start at first base. In the outfield, it's Kepler, Buxton, Adrianza. And that's right to left. Kyle Gibson started for the Minnesota Twins. Just outside. Boy, Fielding Culbreth could have rung him up there, but you could hear him hollering, that's outside. Said Tampa with 80 wins last year. They went 80 and 82. And a pitch, check swing, didn't matter. It's on the outside corner for a strike. We were talking about Baltimore in the broadcast last night about the tough division with the Red Sox and the Yankees, and Toronto I think has taken a slide back. And Tampa, to me, they're a competitive team. And you get 80 wins, they've always been well managed. And this one's way outside, and now 3 balls and 1 strike. Remember when Lou Piniella was there, they really kind of tried to buy a championship with a lot of good players and came real close. And then, of course, Madden was there and really turned that organization around. And now it's going to be up to Kevin Cash. He's done a fine job. Swung on a miss. Just challenged him with a fastball at 92.
And for the first time, Danny, there seems to be substantial momentum for a new stadium with the Rays, and it seems like all the parties have found the spot. Ybor City, that's on the Tampa side. It's not a done deal yet, but if that can be finalized, that would be huge to keep Rays baseball in Florida.
3-2 line drive up the middle. That's a solid base hit. So they keep the inning alive here now. First and second, top of the order for Kiermaier. You know, I am not familiar with the area, but we know that probably have to be a smaller stadium. Definitely a enclosed, maybe a retractable stadium. I think there's some days that they would like to have that roof open, if that's the case. But you know, more now, at times now that the stadiums are built where they can kind of build around it. If it's condominiums or restaurants and establishments like that, that's what the stadiums look for nowadays. Kiermaier DHing. Got the ball out of the infield yet. And a curve missed out. So Kiermaier swinging 3 balls and no strikes.
And what's not to like about Chris Archer on the field, but especially off the field, just what he stands for and how eloquently he speaks about baseball and about life. I find him so interesting and so important, not just in the game of baseball, but to the youth that follow baseball and follow the Rays. A guy like Chris Archer, to me, is the whole package.
They've always had good character guys there. And here's a guy that's going to get to play back at home, and that's Denard Span from the Tampa area. Former Twin, and takes it in there for a strike. Span with that exaggerated open stance holds that bat flat on his shoulder. Now lifts it up. Little flare into left field. That's going to land for a base hit. One in. Waving field around. Here comes Adrianza's throw to the plate. It's cut off. And they've got Denard Span in a rundown, and he'll wait for the tag by Nick Gordon. So he drives in a couple of runs on a little flare to left field. And the Tampa Bay Rays right back in it. They trail 4-3 now. Through 4.5 on your home for Twins baseball. A new pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays, Evan Scribner, a right-hander, and also new left fielder on for Denard Span, Ryan Bolt. So he'll come on here. Top of the order for the Twins. It'll be A-Ray, Adrianza, Jorge Polanco, and Byron Buxton. We're here just in the bottom of the 5th inning. Adrianza getting a start in left field. Walked his last time up. He's got that 4-run 4th inning started. Adrianza 70 ball games with the Twins last year. Batting average of .265. Hurt himself at the end of camp last year. So he started the season on the DL. Switch hitter. First pitch swinging. Skies at shallow center. Here comes the right fielder on. Nope. Center fielder on. He'll call him off. And puts that one away. And now here's Jorge Polanco. Scribner last year was with Seattle, 8 ball games there. 7 1/3, gave up 13 hits. Didn't walk anybody, had 8 strikeouts. So again, Tampa trying to find some guys that will fit into that bullpen. And a pitch, slow curve laid off. Good take there. Logan Morrison. Ton of home runs last year. Free agent right now. He is no longer with this club. Evan Longoria, Tommy Hunter gone. Trevor Plouffe had him in here no longer. Howard Trevor might have signed with the Texas Rangers. So he's in camp as a non-roster with the Texas Rangers out at Cactus League action out there. Ground ball right side. Fielded by the second baseman Wendell. He's been busy and he's going to retire. Polanco, there's out number 2.
Another name that's not back with the Rays. This was relatively recent. Steven Souza was elected the team MVP. He was traded to Arizona not long ago. And so Carlos Gomez, as we touched on earlier, once his deal is final, he will occupy right for Tampa Bay with Kiermaier in center. And Denard Span and Mallex Smith will see time in left.
Buxton, big swing and a miss. So I look at this Tampa club, and you know, when you talk about the starters, and you know, that's, I think, the backbone for every team that's going to contend. I think everybody that, you know, has ideas of contending and are going to contend. You look at the starters and they have it. Look at Boston, they have it. And it starts there with an ace there, but this one's popped up weakly to right side. But Archer is definitely in that class of a frontline starter. So a 3 up, 3 down inning for Evan Scribner. The Twins go quietly through 5. Through 5, it's the Twins 4. Tampa Bay Rays 3. You're listening to Twins Baseball. Changes for the Minnesota Twins defensively. Ryan Walker in for Escobar at third base. Nelson Molina, the new shortstop, on for Polanco. Nick Gordon still in the ballgame at second base. Bobby Wilson, catcher. He's at first base for Mitch Garver. Jordan Pacheco is the new catcher. Out in the outfield for Adrianza, Zach Granite in left. Lamont Wade in center field. And Max Kepler still in the ballgame in right. New pitcher Miles J. Tall, lanky right-hander. First pitch down and away, ball 1. And right back, well crushed off the bat of Cron. And this ball is a hit a ton. Out of here. And that has tied it up 4-4. And that's what Cron was traded for, is to come over here and provide some of that power right there, and he has it.
And that's what the Rays are going to be lacking throughout the year. They love their pitching, but last year they were near the bottom in runs scored. They hit a ton of home runs. That number may dwindle a bit this year. They strike out often, but they hope that they .32 or 33 as a team, and Buxton had 29.
Yes.
By himself last year.
But Baltimore's a team that looks for the 3-run homer.
Yeah.
So what kind of team is Tampa going to be? Are they going to have to execute? Are they going to bunt, move runners over? Miles J, right-hander. Rocks and delivers, and that pitch just missed inside. Tied up 4-4 here in the top half of the 6th inning. Twins got all their runs in the bottom of the 4th with help with a couple of errors. And moved him off the plate. He walks Wilson Ramos. I think also getting a full year out of Ramos. And especially behind the plate. Former Twin, and now here is Joey Wendell. Bit of time with the Oakland Athletics last year at AAA at 285, 8 home runs. And here's where it gets interesting with the timeout called. New base runner, I got number 75 coming into the ball game. Luke's Nathan, or Nathan Lukes. So he's on to run. So Lucas wears number 75. He looks fast. Tie ball game. See if his legs are loose. See if he's running. Ground ball, and that's going to go foul down the right field line. Kyle Gibson started for Minnesota, solid 2 innings, got a lot of ground ball outs. Blake Snell started for Tampa. He was good, 2 innings. He had 4 strikeouts. And Jay delivers. A little slow tapper out in front of home plate. Going to be fielded by Jay. He'll go to short. Back to first, not in time. Wendell running hard down the line. No chance for 2 there. Wasn't hit all that hard, but a good play by Miles J. That's the play that the Twins pitchers work on every day on some of the backfields. Echeverria bats, so for 2 with a strikeout. Here's a veteran player And he's going to shore up that shortstop spot for the Rays. In 77 ball games, hit 7 home runs, drove in 24. But Echeverria, I think that's when the purging started with that Miami organization. They have been dumping players left and right. And a pitch. Ground ball, weakly hit third. Going to be fielded. Going to go to short. And back to first in time, or not in time, to force out the runner again. Ball not hit that hard. But the Miami Marlin team, in dumping a lot of their high-priced players, Major League Baseball kind of looking at them a little bit as to what they're doing, but I think with new ownership, new management, they're just trying to get their payroll under control to where it may take them a few years, get some draft picks, and then do what the Houston Astros did. Batter's Adam Moore. And the first pitch, that's in there for a strike. Jay delivers, and that one's fouled off right side. So a count of no balls and 2 strikes. And Jay checks the runner, delivers line drive, 1 hopper to the second baseman. Nice play, Gordon. He'll get the force out at second. That was a bullet. He made a nice play to his left and got the force out at second base. 1 run. Hey, Target Field Suites, they're available for single game rental groups for groups of 16 all the way up to 150. Whether it's the Premier, Event, Puckett, or even the Skyline Suites, enjoy the ball game in style. You're going to get food, beverages. It's all included. All you have to do is visit twinsbaseball.com/groups and secure your suite today. Johnny Venters, left-hander, on for the Tampa Bay Rays. Here's a guy that's persevered, 32 years of age. The report, he has had 3 Tommy John surgeries. And at age 32, still trying to get it done. And the first pitch to Zach Granite. That's in there for a strike. And right back, tap foul. Granite in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. He has played with a ton of teams. The Atlanta Braves, 85 ball games with Atlanta. He went 6-2 back in 2011. Followed that up with a 66 appearances. Ground ball, weakly hits second. Better hurry. He does. And just gets Granite by half a step. But here he is, coming off that 3rd Tommy John. The 3rd one said is the tendon pulled the bone off the elbow, and they just went in and reattached the bone. So, but still,
for a brief period of time, Johnny Venters and Craig Kimbrell with the Atlanta Braves, the back end of the bullpen, that was nasty. That was hard throwing. You had a righty in Kimbrell, a lefty in Venters. They bring that right-lefty combo at you with a lot of heat. And this is his first spring game, Danny, since 2013. So tip of the cap to this guy for not giving up, and so many arm problems, elbow problems. And here he is trying to win a job, and he has a chance to do that here with the Rays.
Well, he's got experience, age, and sometimes, you know, the velocity might go down a little bit. That one there clocked at 92. But I just, you have to understand the rehab that goes in to any kind of injury. Pacheco check swing. They're going to see if he won it. He did. So there's 2 balls and a strike.
And knowing that what the rehab is, and how often he has been through it and what he'd have to do again and again.
Well, when you go through an injury like that, especially a Tommy John surgery or any surgery, your best friends are your training staff. Swung a miss, and that's going to even it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You don't have a locker. Your locker is in that training room, and these guys, the work that they put in and the advice that they give that athlete, and sometimes the athlete doesn't listen sometimes to that trainer. And a check swing, they're going to see this time if he went, he did not. But sometimes that player thinks he knows a little bit more than the trainer does, and sometimes want to accelerate it, and in the long term that's going to hurt you. So a count of 3-2, 1 out. 4-4 tie. Rays out hitting Minnesota 7-5. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Venters delivers, and he walked him. Chico on. And Bobby Wilson. Sometimes the players will talk to the manager and say, hey, I need 3 at-bats. Or the manager may come to the player or your hitting coach and say, hey, how do you feel? Somebody may say, hey, I want some at-bats today, at least early. We talked to Robbie Grossman. He said he only needs about 10 at-bats. And that's hard to believe. I can't imagine somebody's going to just get 10 at-bats, and now you're ready to go to the season.
I told you, Puck's record is safe, man. And that's not going to be touched.
Well, I just, you got to be really, really special, I think, to say that you give me 10 at-bats in spring training. So, he's a guy that could show up, the last 5 days of camp? Get 10 at-bats, okay, you're ready to go. And a pitch here, and that's got to play below. So Venters, still velocity there, movement there, but just falling behind some hitters. Yeah, 1 out, 2 balls and a strike. Gorgeous afternoon. And Venters delivers ground ball, weakly hit third. It'll be fielded on the second, back to first in time for the 5-4-3 double play. Nobody left through 6 here on a gorgeous afternoon at CenturyLink Sports Complex. Twins and the Rays, they're tied up 4-4, and you're home for Twins baseball. Hey, Twins baseball brought to you by Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine. They know there's one goal, and that's to outperform. Meet your goals at sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org. We've reached the top of the 7th. Here's Corey Provis.
All right, Danny, thank you. All tied at 4. Miles J back out to begin the 7th inning. Jay gave up a run in the 6th, and the first offering is sent foul down the right field line. Christian Arroyo, his 3rd at bat. Arroyo 1 for 2 today. Singled and scored in the 5th. He's also bounced out to short. And Jay's 0-1. Fastball strike at 87. A called strike. Defensively, Nick Buss is now in right. And Gregorio Petit is the new second baseman. So Kepler and Gordon are done for the day. And the 0-2 pitch, ground ball to the right side. This is Petit fielding from shallow right, spinning, throwing low, but dug out by Bobby Wilson to the back end. And Arroyo is out, number 1. Let's head down to the Twins dugout. Mentioned that the Twins have a new right fielder because the original right fielder no longer in this game, and that is Max Kepler. He had a chance to get maybe 2 at-bats today against a lefty in Snell. That didn't happen, nor did it happen against Johnny Venters with a double play. Are you hoping to get more of that, Max, here in the spring, though?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I'm just trying to get at-bats in general. Hopefully probably around 80 to 100, not too many, but...
Well, that would break the record. You
Topic about you hitting against left-handed pitching. Are you hoping, have you had conversations with the coaching staff about getting more opportunities against lefties this season?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be like every season. I'm going to get chances, and then, you know, when the bat goes cold, just like against righties, you know, you're going to sit some games. But yeah, I'm going to get my chances, and I'll be working on it in the cage for sure.
Pitch low and inside, getting away from Pacheco, ball 3.
Max, when you do cage work like that, do you ever ask to see live left-handed BP pitching? Not too often, or no?
Like at the velo that we have in the game, or
No,
just BP?
Just BP, to where you get the look of a left-hander.
Yeah, I've been hitting off Guardado.
There you go.
He's nasty, and we have a couple guys that come through in the season that throw from the left side, and I don't want to do it each and every time I hit BP, but it's nice to see it every now and then.
It's a single out to right past the second baseman Petit. So man out at first base. And Kiermaier will not bat. This is going to be
72. Kufo.
Nick Ciuffo.
Nick
Ciuffo. He is the new batter for Tampa Bay. Number 39. Strike called on Ciuffo in a 4-4 game here in the 7th inning. 1 on and 1 out. Chatting with Max Kepler. Getting back to last year and the success that the team had. You got a taste of the postseason, but I'm sure that leaves more for you to accomplish and reach. Not just you, but also for the team this summer.
Most definitely. You know, just getting to play in that atmosphere in New York is amazing, and we're going to be craving that, you know, throughout the whole season, throughout the whole span of the season. But yeah, it was so much fun last year, and I just want to do it again this year. You know, just gel more as a team, build more chemistry, and just have fun, pick each other up, and stay in the present, not worry about future or past, and take it a day at a time, and, you know, we'll get there.
1 ball, 1 strike on Ciuffo. Runner at first base, 1 out, 4-4 in the 7th inning. And, you know, Robbie Grossman, Max, he joined us earlier today. And, you know, maybe outside of the clubhouse, you guys surprised many with the success that the team had last year. Do you sense that same label? Are you still underdogs this season, or do you think now the expectations have been raised?
I never would have labeled our team as, you know, the underdogs, but I'd say we're definitely grinders. We play hard, you know. That's what we're known for. That's what our organization is known for. And I think last year what made us so good is that we just played as a unit and we played for each other. Opposed to the year before, it felt different last year. You know, we made plays for our teammates. We went out there and played for each other, not, you know, for an individual stat or whatnot. So that makes a whole different approach to the game, and you forget about a lot of noise, and you just go out there and have fun, which is it's a child's game. You're supposed to have fun.
Swinging a foul back, 1-2. Since you arrived really with the Twins, and Danny, you know, mentioned this 2 years ago, there was that Justin Morneau physical comp, and now that Morneau's been in camp, has anybody mistaken you for Morneau in the locker room at all?
During picture day, the Cuddyer, Guardado,
of course,
I think Mauer were standing out there for a picture, and I was walking across the field.
Ground ball to the pitcher. He fields, 2nd for 1. Relay in time, double play. Well turned by Miles J, and a comebacker to 2nd for 1, on to 1st for the inning-ending double play. Can you stick around for one more half inning?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
All right, Max Kepler celebrating with the guys inside. Twins turn 2. We stretch in Fort Myers, all tied at 4 on your home for Twins baseball. 4-4 game. Twins and the Rays here in the home half of the 7th. Bunch of changes for Tampa Bay defensively. And We'll start with the new man on the mound, a right-hander. That is Jamie Schultz. He was at AAA Durham last year, 13 games. Out of the bullpen, 3.86 ERA. From Albany, New York. So Schultz, the new pitcher. Thomas Malone in center. Johnny Field goes from center to first. Willie Adames is the new shortstop. Kian Wong is now at third. And Nick Buss leads off, and he sends one foul. 0-1. So Buss is first at bat today, hitting in the spot that was vacated by Max Kepler, who's kind enough to stick around for one more half inning. But Max, let's get back to that story before the inning double play. The 0-1 ground ball right side of the hole and through, base hit right field.
Nice.
So Nick Buss is on. So you had what, picture day and Guardado and Mauer and Kadire and what else happened?
Yeah, I think they were standing across the field and they were taking a picture for, like, you know, a vintage shoot for back in the day, the group for back in the day, and they were waiting for Marneau. And I was walking across the field to my next station for pictures. And they were like, oh, here he comes. And then they were like, oh, that's not Marneau, that's Max. And then, but yeah, I've gotten that comparison every now and then. But yeah, it's nice to work with him. He's very insightful, especially, you know, against lefties and stuff. And we're in the cage when we get the chance to.
Do you use that time down here not just to always hit with the same group and the same guys you're with every day, but to take advantage of some of the alum that are around for spring training?
Of course, of course. You know, I look up to them. You know, they're my idols. As a kid, I used to watch them. So I'm going to ask them questions and soak everything up like a sponge and take away, you know, what works for me. But yeah, it's great to have them around.
Ryan Lamar batting, 1 ball, no strikes in the 7th. It's Buss at first base, nobody out, Danny.
Kev, when you talk to those guys, is it more about mechanics? Is it more about the mental part of the game?
No, it's the mental part, you know. Mechanically, I think everyone is here for a reason, and they've gotten to this point just because they're mechanically sound. And yeah, baseball's a different mental game at this level, so it's all mental when I talk to Morneau.
Which is high, ball 2, and now thinking about your climb throughout the system and now at the big league level, you're in that same international class of 2009 with Jorge Polanco and Miguel Sano, and here you guys were teammates throughout the minor leagues. You won at the minor league level, and now trying to achieve so much success at the big league level. Line to third, caught. A shoestring catch made by the third baseman Wong. Took a base hit away from Lamar. Hit that ball hard. So Buss to the first base, now 1 out. And this is going to be Gregorio Petit, but that has to be so special that you're doing this with the same guys, Max, that you came up with.
Yeah, you know, when you win, like I said, you crave that feeling over and over again, and you get used to it. Not saying you take it for granted, you know, that you're going to win every year, but it just seems like the norm. It seems like that's what you have to do. So winning as a group, you know what to do, you know how to pick each other up, you know how to tweak certain situations and help each other out, because we've done it before. So yeah, we've gotten to a wild card game, to the playoffs, and we know what we did last year. So we're going to try and, you know, put that back into play and add some extra oomph into that.
Lamont Wade on deck. Petit batting, takes high, ball 1. Busted first base, 1 out in a 4-4 game, bottom 7. And the 1-0 is swinging a foul, hung onto by the catcher. And that will even up the count, add a ball and a strike. Did you still make your home in the offseason out in the Bay Area?
Yeah. So I went to Berlin for a month after the season, and then I went back to the Bay Area, and yeah, lived with a couple other baseball players, and my girlfriend's out there, so that's I wouldn't call it a home, but that's where I stay.
Righty to righty. Runner goes, the 1-1, and a swing and a miss. Bat goes out of the hands of Petit, and down to second base. No throw, Nick Buss. Well, the Twins had something working there, Danny, with the runner off, and Petit kind of throwing that bat out there to pitch down and away.
You hate to do that, force a guy to swing at a ball way outside, but you don't see too many hit and runs like that. But maybe, you know, Paul's trying to find out if Buss can get the sign and Petit can execute it.
Ball and 2 strikes. Max, in the past, correct me if I'm wrong, but out in the Bay, have you worked with Barry Bonds in the past with your swing? And did you do the same again this offseason?
No. Briefly, I worked with him in, I think it was offseason of 17.
Line drive right side of one hopper, fielded by the second baseman Wendell. He'll throw out Petit with Buss to third. So 2 outs. So it was just that one off season going into 17?
Yeah, well, he was actually working with a teammate or a player that I was working out with, so I joined in on the groups and listened to what he had to say. But yeah, I didn't see him around this last off season, unfortunately.
So 2 down. Lamont Wade is the batter. There's a talented young outfielder the Twins have, Max, in the system. Have you got a chance to watch and get to know this young man, Lamont Wade?
Yeah, he's raw. He's got a lot of talent. Can't see him right now because we have so many people in the dugout. Trying to peek through the holes.
Fastball strike at 92, catching the inside corner, 0-1. What do you learn from playing next to Byron Buxton every day?
The sky's the limit, you know. He opens up.
Wade sends one foul. Good cut there.
He opens up areas that I want to work on, you know, that I didn't think were possible. Just seeing a guy come close to making plays that to me seemed impossible just show me that, you know, that nothing's impossible. I mean, yes, he possesses the speed of a racehorse, but he just pushes us. I think everyone around him just to play more aggressively, and the way he attacks the wall, he's not scared, and he'll sacrifice that for the team. So yeah, it pushes us mentally, and you just want to be like him out there. So diving comes naturally to all of us, I'd say.
Would you say that his personality also coming out a little bit more? You're seeing more of a Byron Buxton personality?
Well, yeah, it comes with time, you know. And when you're new to the big leagues, you're that quiet, shy guy. You're just listening and soaking everything up. But I think it's his 3rd year coming up. So, yeah, you start to feel established and like you belong and like you're one of the leaders. So, but, yeah, he's always smiling, and it's contagious. So it's a good vibe to have around.
2-2 inside. Did that get Wade in the hand or the knob? And they're going to say that's a foul ball. It came inside. And fielding Colbreth behind the plate saying foul ball, made contact with the knob as that one came inside. And it's a good call by the umpire Colbreth. If you ask 5 different people, Max, you may get 5 different answers, but your perspective is rather unique. Do you have a favorite Buxton catch that you witnessed?
I'd have to say the one at Yankee Stadium during the wild card game. I mean, there's plenty. There's one.
When he got hurt?
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
But just, you know, everything. It was just electric, and everything fit in perfectly. It was like a movie to me, and it got me amped up. But there was a couple plays in Cleveland he made.
Yeah.
There was one to the front, kind of to the side, and there's one up against the wall against Santana. There's multiple. I mean, but yeah, he'd have a good highlight reel for.
Yeah, the Cleveland, sure. I think Max brings up a great. There were 2. The Mother's Day catch, Santana in right center field off the wall, and then the time he robbed Kipnis, Max, that was late in the season.
Yeah.
I think it was the 9th inning. A line drive to left center field. It looked like he hydroplaned on the grass and took a leadoff double, I think, away from Kipnis in that 9th inning.
Yeah.
The 2-2 pitch, a slicing liner, left field line, slicing, landing foul. So Lamont Wade. Good battle here with Schultz, a 2-2 count. All right, do you have a favorite Max Kepler catch? Let's not leave you out of the fun here. Do you have a favorite?
I'd like to say the one that got me amped up most was the one against the Tigers. I think there was a runner on second. Castellanos was on second. And that ball hit over my head. And I kind of jumped up and hit up against the wall. And then we threw the guy out running to third. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
Was that in Detroit?
Yeah. And it was a double play.
Yeah, okay.
I like that one a lot. I feel like I do the catch to the front a lot, so it's nothing special, but I like the ones over the head, you know. It's more of a challenge to me.
3-2 on Lamont Wade. Runner at third, 2 outs, and the pitch is sent foul. You know, Danny, when we watch you play defensively, and Byron and Eddie Rosario, and you bring up, Danny, there are certain guys who are comfortable diving, some are comfortable sliding. You know, Eddie slides often, his knees are on the grass. Max, are you comfortable doing both, diving for balls, and also, if you have to, going down to your knees to slide and make a play?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm comfortable with both. I'd say whenever I slide on my back.
Old fair inside first down the right field line. Thus scores Wade hustling to second base, and he will stop there. Twins have the lead 5-4.
That was a good
On
at
a
bat.
2-out RBI double. You said it, Max. It was a lengthy at bat. He fouled off pitch after pitch. And as a hitter, you've been in that spot. The longer the at bat goes, advantage hitter.
It's quality.
Do you sense that as well, though? The more pitches you see, the more you foul off, the better the odds are that you're going to be successful?
For sure. You know, the more pitches you see, the more of the arsenal you see from the pitcher. To me, it's like, you know, painting a picture. The ball gets bigger because you just pick up, and it's like picking up information. And, yeah, you kind of know what's coming, and you see it better. And you build confidence, you know, every time you get close to take good swings on a pitcher.
Twins have a 5-4 lead. Wade at second base, 2 down in the 7th inning.
Ooh.
And the pitch is launched to center field, but right at the center fielder Malone. And he'll grab it for out number 3, and that's the inning. Max, thanks for the time. Appreciate you sticking around with us, and we'll catch you up along the way.
Thanks for having me.
All right, all the best to Max Kepler. And the Twins have the lead at 5-4 through 7. 8th inning. Twins have a new pitcher. We'll talk about him when we come back on your home for Twins baseball.
Twins Spring Training Baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
Eighth inning. From Fort Myers, Twins have a 5-4 lead. Well, you've perfected your 7th-inning stretch, but now it's time to practice your dancing down here on the beaches of Fort Myers and Sanibel. Learn more about seashells and all things to do down here in Southwest Florida at FortMyersSanibel.com. Beaches and baseball, great time to be down here with us. New pitcher for the Twins, right-hander, intriguing young arm in the Twins system, Zach Littell. He's 22 years old from North Carolina. Facing Ryan Bolt, and the count now 1-2. Zach Littell was a key get from the Yankees, along with Dietrich Enns in the Jaime Garcia trade before the deadline. In fact, virtually at the deadline, late July last year. And the 1-2 pitch has popped up foul off third. Chasing to his right is Walker's sidewall, and just can't make the play. He had a chance to, as he measured up against the sidewall towards the Twins bullpen. Down the left field line, he had his eyes up and just was set to make the play, but then it carried maybe a foot or two beyond from where he was stationed. And just fell out of reach. So Bolt still alive here. And the 1-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. 91 a fastball, down and away by Bolt, and that is out number 1. After the trade that brought Littell to the Twins organization, Zach finished his season at Double-A Chattanooga. 7 starts, an ERA under 3 at 2.81. Struck out 33 batters in 41 2/3 innings. Twins really are happy with the depth that they're building. Some solid starting pitching, both at AAA and AA. And if you're trying to pencil in where these guys will start, it's a bit premature to do that. And the 1-0 to Maris has popped up, playable, foul territory near the Twins dugout. The catcher, Pacheco, tosses the mask and will make a snow cone catch on the grass between the dugout and the third base line. And there are 2 down. The Twins have guys like Littell and Gonsalves and Romero and Jorge, and you can go on and on right now trying to figure out where these guys slot in. Just can't do it right now because there's so much to be decided with how the big league staff will shake down. If the Twins begin with 4 starters or go to 5, that will be determined later on. Of course, we do know that Irvin Santana will not be healthy to begin the year. Ball 1 on Nathan Lucas as he pops it up foul, slicing past the Twins dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Twins Spring Training Baseball is always live with MLB.com at BAT, the mobile app. Stay connected all spring with radio broadcasts, stats, news, video highlights, and more. Download MLB.com at BAT, the #1 app for live baseball. And the 1-1. A slicing fly, shallow left, shortstop out, left fielder in, and Granite makes a sliding catch. Molina, the shortstop, went out. Granite charging in from left, and Zach went down to the grass and makes a sliding catch with Molina kind of tumbling over him. Good play here from Granite defensively. We know he can make the plays at center and left, doesn't matter. And he does so here, ending the 8th inning. Twins 5, Rays 4, bottom 8 when we come back on your home for Twins baseball. Now the two-time World Series champion Danny Glenn, Corey Provis from the CenturyLink Sports Complex. New pitcher for the Rays, R.J. Alanis. Has the 8th inning for Tampa Bay. Twins on top 5-4. Nelson Molina, left-handed batting shortstop, leads off this half inning. Twins took the lead in the 7th on a 2-out RBI double from Lamont Wade. Twins got 4 in the 4th inning. Mitch Garver, a 2-run homer. Escobar, an RBI double. Rays got 2 in the 5th and tied the game on a C.J. Cron homer in the 6th inning. Ground ball to short. This is fielded by the shortstop, and he throws out. Molina, Adames, shortstop, throws out his counterpart. And that's out number 1. And now Zach Granite made a good play defensively to end the 8th inning a moment ago. Well, folks, I'm sure many of you have seen this story. It's been posted online and nothing confirmed yet, but the Twins have made serious traction on signing a potent bat. And that would be Logan Morrison, who was with this Rays team last year. Hit 38 home runs at Tampa Bay a year ago, and the 0-1. And this is not official by any means, but certainly making progress. And interested to hear the comments from Twins personnel after the game about this potential addition to this Twins lineup, because this will affect many. And the 0-2 is down and in on a breaking ball, ball 1. And Morrison, a huge year. 38 home runs the year before. But Tampa Bay hit 14, and he put on a show at Target Field not too long ago. Line to short, caught by Adames. That's Granite's swing. He'll just kind of punch it and try to place it. And he tried to slice that one towards the hole at short, but Adames was positioned well and made the catch, 2 down. So we'll talk more about that. I'm sure tomorrow, Danny, we're back here tomorrow on the broadcast, but interested to get some comments from Twins personnel after the game. What could be a very, very significant bat the Twins have added to their team, into their lineup.
Well, I'm sure that it might be addressed after the ballgame, but it'd be nice to be able to maybe get the story right here or hear if that's true. I know there has been talk with his agent and representative. They have been talking about maybe possibly getting another bat. And like you said, if it does go down like that, there is a bit of a domino effect. It does affect other people in that clubhouse.
Pacheco launches to right. This is playable. Shading the sun as the right fielder, and he'll catch it above his shoulder. That's a quick 1-2-3 8th inning. Twins are 3 outs away from their first Grapefruit League win. Twins 5, Tampa Bay 4. From Fort Myers, you're listening to Twins baseball. Twins 5, Rays 4. Zach Littell worked a 1-2-3 8th. Is that going to be back out to roll here in the 9th inning? Apologize that we had a fan near one of our microphones by the dugout. Had to clear his throat.
You
there.
heard that.
It's not something we try to pass along, but we can't mute every mic in the ballpark. We have about 30 around the complex. These things happen.
You know, and it's amazing when people find out about them, they think that they're the ones that are on right now.
Right. It just happens. These things happen. It's not anybody's fault. It's live programming. Strike on Nick Solak. Littell from the windup, and the 0-1 off speed is sent foul right side towards the parking lot, and it's 0-2. Yeah, we are back here tomorrow. Twins have a nice little homestand here beginning today, and We'll have it for you tomorrow. No simulcast. Twins and the Cardinals at noon Central Time. Phil Hughes will throw for the Twins, and that'll be the first outing, Danny, for Phil this spring, and see how he is looking here.
You know, people talking about, what are you going to look for from Hughes? I'm just going to look for command. They asked about his velocity. I don't think that's going to be a big factor.
And 2 bounce to short, and Molina throws out Solak, 1 out.
I think, a lot of times, he's going to go the standard 2 innings, probably 30, 35 pitches. And, maybe go then, and if it's a quick 2 innings, go to the bullpen and finish it out there. But, just look for his command. And he might throw occasional off-speed pitch, but I just look to see him to be able to establish strikes in the zone. So, see how it goes with him tomorrow. I'm curious to see what kind of ball club comes over tomorrow. Because, that's a long trip over there, and we've seen it where, and I think it frustrates some people that when these teams travel like that, they don't bring their A players. You understand maybe early, but it seems to happen all year down here in spring training. But you'd like to see a couple of the frontline players.
It's a problem that's spread throughout the Grapefruit League. It's just
not the Grapefruit League. I think it's out in Arizona maybe as well, but not as bad. Travel's not nearly like it is here.
1 ball, 1 strike on Adames. Talented young player that the Rays are very high on. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 5-4 Twins here in the 9th inning.
And that rule that they talk about, you've got to travel with, I believe it's 4 position players that either have big league experience or possibly make the club.
Breaking ball over but low.
And we found out that rule doesn't really kind of come into play until March 1st. So that's when they. And have you ever even heard of anybody enforcing it?
Yeah, it happened a couple of years ago. Red Sox got fined.
Did they?
Swing and a miss, strike 3. As the lower hand came off the bat of Adames, he chased up. Elevated fastball at 90, and there are 2 down. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Twins. Yeah, this was a couple years ago. The Red Sox were playing a game in Jupiter. I'm not sure against the Cardinals or the Marlins. And they did not meet that criterion. The Red Sox fans travel so well. They've got fans all over the place, but especially that side of the state. They don't see the Red Sox play too often, and they were disappointed in the group that was brought over there.
Might have been the Red Sox fans that were disappointed.
Yeah, and I think the Marlins too, or whatever, the Cardinals. I don't recall the team. And sure enough, an investigation, and yeah, the Red Sox were fined. I don't know the amount. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Adam Moore. 5-4 Twins in the 9th inning. Fastball high. And maybe more teams have. It's not something that you see, publicized too often. And the 2-1 check swing. He went. No appeal necessary. 2-2.
Yeah, I think anytime that teams are fined like that, they keep it kind of hush-hush. But whereas a player is fined, boy, that's right out there in the news. They can't wait to let the public know.
Twins 1 strike away from a win. The 2-2 breaking ball hit foul. And the Rays are back here in a couple of days. Tampa Bay will be here on Wednesday. It's a split squad day for the Twins. But Phil Hughes tomorrow, then Jose Barrios throws against the Red Sox here on Tuesday. A 2-2 pitch fouled off the foot of Adam Moore. Kyle Gibson was solid in his spring debut. 2 perfect innings, 4 ground ball outs. Blake Snell was tremendous for Tampa as well. 2 innings, 4 strikeouts. 2-2 on Moore. Twins 5, Rays 4, top 9. Bases empty, 2 outs. And here it comes. He struck him out swinging, and the ball game is over. 85, that offering up and in, and Littell 2 innings. He struck out 3, and the Twins are in the win column for the first time this spring, knocking off Tampa Bay 5-4. We'll come back, get some thoughts from Danny, and more in a moment on your home for Twins baseball.